U.S. Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel is en route to Asia for a 10-day visit after meeting with the defense ministers from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations in Hawaii. Among the topics discussed were tensions over maritime claims in the South China Sea. Nathan King reports now from Honolulu.
Saving the most difficult problems to last. Defense ministers from the US and ASEAN sit down to tackle the thorny issue of maritime claims in the South China Sea. 5 of the ASEAN members have competing claims, as well as China, and tensions are running high. And this meeting comes just as the Philippines filed a lawsuit against China over its South China Sea territory dispute. The Philippines is taking its case to the United Nations for arbitration. And while the US has treaty obligations to defend the Philippines, the message here was Washington doesn't want the situation to escalate further.
We're not pointing fingers at any particular nation here. We're saying that all nations need to, work this peacefully and through international norms.
Including the Philippines.
Everybody needs to. We want everybody to work these things through diplomatically.
This forum came together just after the latest round of talks between China and ASEAN on a code of conduct for the South China Sea. But China and other ASEAN nations reserve the right to settle these difficult issues bilaterally.
One can understand why China would prefer to settle its bilateral disputes bilaterally. I think all of us would probably naturally go towards that. One should also note that there has been progress in the code of conduct.
Progress includes recognizing the freedom of the seas in the ASEAN region, but thorny issues like fishing rights, oil and gas exploration, and the central issue of sovereignty over thousands of islands have yet to be finalized. While a code of conduct for the South China Sea is still being negotiated, ASEAN members here have been looking at ways to diffuse tension. Much talk this week about Vietnam's proposal for a no first use of force agreement that we signed by all claimants. While the South China Sea maritime disputes may not be settled anytime soon, ASEAN is looking at ways to manage the situation. Nathan King, CCTV, Honolulu.